So one of the key things that came out from the police minister when he was briefing the members of the media following, their visit to Standerton here in Mpumalanga was the fact that he is worried about the proximity of these crime scenes to the community itself. We are actually just outside, their last stop. This is a normal residential place. If you look at it, if you're an outsider, if you're just driving through the streets of this particular suburban area, you will not suspect anything, because from the naked eye, and if you're just walking just across the street, you will not find anything that might attract your attention. But also some members themselves of the community, when police entourage arrived, you could see that they were a bit shocked and surprised, and curious in terms of what is it that might be happening. And of course, they were only informed when we started engaging them about the issue that was really happening here an hour ago. So that's the issue here. And Police Minister really also raised concerns in terms of whether municipalities are able to really do proper background check, to people they lease these properties to. But also understand that, community members themselves here are a peace-loving community, but they were not aware of what was happening, just next to their own houses. So to get more details and how they feel about this discovery by the police, I'm joined now by some members of the community. I'm going to start with Umama. Mama, thank you very much for your time. Just talk to us about how you feel about what has happened here in the last hour or so, but also, did you have any idea that such operations could have been happening just in front of your doorstep?
No, we did not know of these operations because this is a very, very peaceful neighborhood. There is excitement because of this past, and we also have really, really hope to the justice. We really plead with the justice which it should take its course and really, really deal with this issue, because indeed Standerton has been affected with this drug issue, and we think which maybe it has really this is a breakthrough for us, and we are also happy because our children have been saved from this thing. Our girl children are also saved from this thing because drugs and human trafficking go hand in hand. Our girls could have been abducted because we did not know, we did not see, we did not even suspect that we could be having such a thing. Our girls could have been taken and kept here, and we could have been looking for them days and for days, and yet they are just here, just in front of our eyes. So with this past, we are happy. But it's a shock. We are shocked because we never expected such that could happen, because indeed this is a peaceful neighborhood. Our children, are playing freely here, We know each other, as neighbors, and yeah. I can end it here.
Thank you very much, Mo. Speaking about young girls, I'm joined now by two of young ladies who are actually residing on the very same street, just to get their own views. My sisters, thank you very much for your time. Let me start with you. You're a young person, properly grew up here. How do you feel about what has happened here, and how are you generally feeling about the issue of drugs within this community?
We are scared and shocked, actually. But then this also opened our eyes to get to know the people around you and to get to know your neighbors. And yeah.
I mean, your views, my sister.
We were very shocked about it and very scared, like really scared. But we thank God that we are safe in this neighborhood. Not very, very safe, but we are safe. We should protect each other. And yeah.
Let me bring in a young person here, a young guy who stays just opposite the very same house. My brother, as a direct neighbor to this particular house, which has been identified as a crime scene, at any point, did you have any suspicions? But also as a young man, how is the scale of drug substance here in this particular community?
In actual fact, there were a bit of suspicions happening because there would be hours where people would come in different times and you would ask yourself what is happening. So I would say there were a bit of suspicions. And then also the drug impact in the Standerton, it's surprising at how it keeps on growing. The scale is very, very big now. You would find most people actually at the taxi rank, they're smoking, and it's really scary to see how our town is actually doing now.
How would you describe the general crime in this vicinity? Because as an outsider, you'll think that this is a very peaceful, crime-free community. How is crime generally in this particular vicinity?
to be actually true that the crime it's actually surprising how it's also growing, because drugs and crime go hand in hand. So in our neighborhood, we would also say it's a peaceful neighborhood, but it's not actually as you think. The crime it's a lot.
Thank you very much, Brother Man, for your time.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Those are the residents, Arabile, of this particular community here in Standerton, saying that they are very happy, but at the very same time, they are shocked that actually, a syndicate of such scale has been happening just in front, just in their own community. But also, we're talking to direct neighbors here. Some are staying just next door to this particular house, and the young man I spoke to lives just direct opposite to this house. But they had no idea this was happening in their own community, which was also raised by the policemen, saying that actually the substances that are circulating within these communities are actually produced in the very same community. So that's the situation here, as you said earlier on, that the suspect have been arrested and they will be returning to court on the 25th of April.
Zineko, have we, just with regards to not just the drugs that were seized here, but really even just some of the property that was actually seized, was that just really a part of what people were also seeing in all of this? Because one might ask themselves that if it's a community that perhaps isn't as affluent, but you're seeing cars that are valued in the millions, that maybe that could even raise its own suspicion, and perhaps that was the tip-off to some of the police and law enforcement?
So it was an intelligence-driven operation, Arabella, from what we heard from the Hawks Head, saying that even though they can't divulge much to us as members of the media in terms of their own operations, but it was an intelligence-driven operation. They have been on this for some time right now, and that culminated to the raid which happened earlier this week. But in terms of the places or properties which were used for this operation, they are very, very diverse. One is a laboratory which is in the just outskirts of the CBD itself, where you will know that there will be firms that are operating various products. But so that particular lab was amongst those manufacturing or factory areas within the CBD of Standerton. Another place which was used was in the outskirts, in the farm. So it was happening at a farmhouse. So you think that actually, we were made to understand that the people behind this syndicate had hired out or had rented out a farm. That's where now they built a farmhouse where, that house was looked after by an elderly citizen, if I may use a common language which is used here, by a ugogo, who's known in that particular area. But, from a distance, you'll never even imagine that Gogo was a part and parcel of that operation or syndicate. And of course, the third place is this particular house in this particular suburb. So they had diversified their places of operation, and that talks to the issue of organization. But also the minister said that those cars that we saw earlier on are very luxurious, and of course some of them were brand new. There was a truck that had a brand new engine which had just been purchased, and of course it had no registration numbers. But also what was shocking, when the investigators requested for the keys of those cars, they were refused. So those cars can't be then used for anything, because and up until the authorities are able to get their hands on the keys of those cars, and we talk about luxurious cars that are worth over 6 million in total. So that's the situation here. But also it was also revealed that Mpumalanga itself is becoming a crime scene, and is increasing in terms of statistics of crimes that are happening in this particular province. And there are obvious provinces we know to be very popular for crimes, such as the Western Cape, KZN and Gauteng. But also now it seems as if Mpumalanga is joining those three provinces in terms of being one of the top provinces with the highest numbers of reported crime statistics.
Zineko, thank you so much for that reporting then, and giving us the details on that story. Of course, having heard the Police Minister Mchunu not so long ago, as well then, of course, as the Hawks detailing the outcomes of this police summit. But of course, even this bust in itself being quite significant and important.